Good day. How is everyone today? It's Saturday, holy or grand or great Saturday. I'm going to give a little history on that after the most holy sacrifice of the Mass. Thank you for being here. Hope you are doing well. Please continue to pray. These are interesting times. Definitely, you can feel the everybody is searching, and it's a really good time to have deep discussions. All right, let's get started with Good Day Rising prayers. And for those of you who received my email yesterday with regards to the Stations of the Cross yesterday, we're going to be redoing those so that they come out better. I apologize. I did not spend enough time on editing and clarifying. The ancient church, as Ruth had pointed out to me, which I knew but I couldn't find the sources for, was only had 12 stations. So we're going to try and not try, we're going to reinstitute that as soon as we find all the good stuff. In nomine Deum, Matronum Nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of the Most Holy Divine Family, and in Catholic contemplation humbly venerate the Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany. Most Holy and Venerable Trinity, one Divine Family, I believe that Thou art here present. I venerate Thee with the deepest humility. I render to Thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to Thee. O most holy divine family, relying on Thine infinite goodness and promises, I hope to obtain pardon of my sins, the help of Thy grace, and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Matronum Nostrae. O most holy divine family, I love Thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because Thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of Thee, and I forgive all who have injured me and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank the Most Holy Divine Family for the many graces that we receive, and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to heaven and for the souls in purgatory. O my God, I most humbly thank Thee for all the favors Thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to Thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in Thy service. I consecrate to Thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, that there may be none that is not animated by Thy love, or that would not tend to Thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good, and let us beg of the Most Holy Divine Family the graces which are necessary to us. O most Holy Trinity, Thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of Thy grace. Deny me not Thy grace, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which Thou forbiddest, to practice the good which Thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please Thee to send me. O Deum Matronum Nostrae, O Holy Mother of God, I place myself under Thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of Thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O most Holy Divine Family, as envisioned by St. Lucia as the Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronum Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I am heartily sorry for having offended Thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell, but most of all because they offend Thee, O most Holy Trinitarian Theophany, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of Thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. Deum vobiscum, quo corpo te. Oremus. Fidelium Deum Iesum Christum, omnium conditor et redemptor animabus famalorum famrogitorum, remissionem contorum tribui peccatorum, ut indulgentiam quam semper obteverunt pis supplicationibus consequentor, qui ticum vivet reinat in una divina familia, qui erat est et erit in aeternum. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum hoc immaculatum hostiam, quam ego indinius famulus tuus offenditibi Deum meum et verum, pro innumerabilibus peccatis et offensionibus et negligentiis meis, et pro omnibus circumstantibus, sed pro omnibus fidelibus, catholicorum vivis atque defunctis ut mihi et idis profigetat salutem. Deum qui comunae substantia dignitatem mirabilita contradicit mirabilis reformasti de nobis periuris atque domini mysterium eis divinitatis esse consortis qui divinitatis nostrae fiat dignatus est particips Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui ticum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem salutaris tuum da peccatis clementiam ut vetu divina majestatis tuae, pro nostra totius mundi salute cum odore suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu humilitatis et in animo contrito suscipi amorate Deum Iesum Christum et sacrifici sacrificium nostrum ecus vetu tu hodie, placiat tibi Deum matronam nostrae Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, veni sanctificator. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et sanctificite plata prosequendo, et acapere hoc sacrificium tuo sanctum nomini praeparatum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas Oblationum cum tibi efferimus a memoriam passionis, resurrectionis et ascensionis Deum Iesum Christum, et in honoram Deum Maternam Nostrae et Papa Peter Sanctorum et Istorum et omnium Sanctorum, ut idis proficiat ad honorem nobis autem et salutem, et idi pro nobis intercedere in interne caelis coram memoriam agamus in tedis pede in Christum Deum nostrum. Orate ut meum equestrum sacrificium acceptabile fiat per Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipiat Deum Iesum Christum sacrificium de manibus tuis et laudem et gloriam nomini sui ad utilitatem quoque nostram, totiusque ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum vobiscum, quoque pote, sursum corda habemus ad Deum. Gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te gedoglamente mater et pater et Deum Maternam Nostrae, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum Deum Nostrae, supplices rogamus ac petimus. Uti accepta habeas, et sanctificas, haec sanctam sacrificiam idipata, in primis quae tibi efferimus pro ecclesiam tuam sanctum catholicam, quam beneficari custodire ad honore et regere dignitas tot orbiterum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famalorum famrogitorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We especially pray for Paulie, Shelley, Therese, Cody, Ben, Jenny, Emily, Katie, Kathy, Maria Josephina Mose, Marilyn, Mark Jr., Letitia, Mindy, Todd, Clarette, Dennis, Barbara Santa Croce, James, Robert, Benedict, Gregory, Adam, Malachi, and Patrick Santa Croce, the Williams, Tafur, and Began families, the Stevenson family, Michaela McLarnon and family, the Kendrick, Shorten, Nolan, Dasco, Kane, Nye, Tafur, Camarano, and Pohalski families, and the Wolf families, and all their good intentions. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child abuse of any kind, anywhere, place, or time. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, and medium of exchange with no usury, and a stable currency with no inflation. There's no need for inflation. We pray for courageous men to step forward as leaders of this Catholic society to stop the abuses in the government, finance, health, all those industries. We pray for the elimination of all harmful radiation waves in our air and in our homes. We ask and pray for the gift of discernment and for an increase in the knowledge and practice of the Catholic virtues. We ask for a reversal of the feminist ideology and a return to godly femininity. And we thank those who are moving in that direction, and there are many. We ask for the conversion of all sinners trapped in a state of mortal sin, especially the ignorant. We ask that Catholic families bring back Catholic morals and values for men and women to stop feeding their money, energy, attention, and time to sports, celebrities, worldly entertainment, and vices, and to focus their attention and time to raising Catholic families for the Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany to save and free the souls of the Catholics from the heresies of the Jews. Please remove all forms of Freemasonry and Judaism and Islamism and all its tentacles that are throughout the world, and guide the members into the submission of the Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany through correct baptism and confession. We ask you to destroy the satanic document of Vatican law that is the Jewish Talmud that continues to permeate throughout the world. Please nullify any attempts to establish anti-Semitism propaganda into any rules, codes, laws, statutes, or policies. As we know that only destruction results come from the Talmud, let us resist it so that we can eliminate that possibility. We ask the Most Holy Trinity that all Catholics be given the grace to be accountable so that we may each have a holy hatred for sensuality, as St. Catherine of Siena encouraged, a repentant shame for the offenses we have committed and continue to commit against thee, and a deep love of thee and of souls, so much that we desire nothing more than to be of service to thee in every moment of our lives. All this we ask in accordance with the Most Holy Divine Family's goodwill and intention. Et omnium circumstantiam quorum tibi fides cognita est et nota devotio, pro quibus tibi ferimus, veruque tibi offerunt hoc sacrificium laudis, pro se suisque omnibus, pro redemptione animarum suarum, pro spe salutis et calamitatis suae. Tibi credunt vota sua, aeterno Deum vivo et vero. Communicantes et memona venerantes in primis gloriosae semper Deum Matram nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et beatorum martyrium torum Papa Sancti Petri, et Sancti Luci, et Sancti Jacinta, et Sancti Francisco, et Sancti Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum tuorum quorum meditis precibus cae canceras, ut in omnibus protectiones tuae monium exidio per innum Christum Deum nostrum, quam oblationem de Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus consecratem ac et Deum quificere dignitis nobis corpum, et sanguinem fieri dictissimi filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum. Qui pridie quam pateretur recepit panem in sancta sacrabilis manus suas, et derivatis oculis in calamate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum summa omnipotentem tibi gratias agens. Consecravit frege dedique lunis sudicens accipite et mandocate ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simili modo postquam ceremonia est accipienser hunc preclarum calicem in sancta sacra audis manus suas, item tibi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, consecrave dedique lumnis sui dicens accipite et bibite ex omnes. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei, mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur, in remissione peccatorum, aquates cum preficeritis memo facetis. Unde et memores Deum nos servituis, et plebs tua sancta justum Christum filium tuum Deum nostrae, tam beatae, passiones nec non et eb inferis resurrectionis, sed et in caelos gloriosa ascensionis, offerimus preclare maestati tuae de tuis donis actatis. Supra quae propitio ac sereno utur respicieri digneris. Supplices teragamos Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum iebe hic per manus tuum ut quod ex hoc autaris participationis sacrosanctum Deum Filium tuum, corpus et sanguinem sincerimus, omni sanctificatione calesia gratia Dei per amor, per iendum Christum Deum nostrae. We pray for those who have died. We especially pray for Robert White III, for whom this Mass is being offered. Ipsis Deum et omnibum, in Christum quiscentibum locum refugere ducis et pacis, ut andora gesta bracamur per iendum Christum Deum nostrum. Per cum hic omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas, sanctificas, vivicas, consecratis et praestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso. Est tibi Deum Matrum omnipotenti in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea, Matronam nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum, sancta tua in mulier. Dea Matronam nostrae, Matram Deum Iesum Christum, misericordia nobis peccatoribus nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos quae sumus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum ab omnibus malis, praeteritis, praesentibus et futuris, et intercedente beate gloriosa semper Deum Matronam nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis, da propitias pacem in diebus nostris. Ut ope misericordiae tuae aduiti et peccato, simus semper liberi et ab omni perturbatione securi. Per iendum Deum nostrum Iesum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostrum, qui tecum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sed semper vobiscum, et quoque apud te. Haecum extio consecratio corporis et sanguis Deum Iesum Christum fiat excipientibus nobis in ad salutem aeternam. Pax tecum, et quoque apud te. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum Matronam nostrae, cooperante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem tuam mundum vivificasti, libera me per hoc sacro sanctum corpus, et sanguinum, tuum ab omnibus iniquitatibus meis et unoversis malis, et fac me tue semper inhalare mandatis, et ate numquam separare permittas, qui cum me eodem Deam matronam nostrae, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, vivis et regnam aeternam. Perceptio corporis tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego in inius sumere praesimo, non mihi proveniat in judicium condonationem, sed pro tu pietate prosit mihi ad tutumentum mentis et corporis, et ad medelam percipiendam, qui vivis et regnas, cum Deum matronam nostrae, in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Panem celestem excipiem et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Deam matronam nostrum non sunt dignius, ut intercedete meis in tante liquavis soprana mea. Deum Iesum Christum non sunt dignius, ut intercedete meis in tante liquavis soprana mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sunt dignius, ut intercedete meis in tante liquavis soprana mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Quid retribuam Deum Iesum Christum, pro omnibus quae retribuit mihi, calicem salutaris excipiem et nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo, laudans invocabo Deum matronam nostrae et ab inimicis mei salvosero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet animam tuum. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet animam tuum. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet animam tuum. Quodori sumpsimus Deum Iesum Christum purimente capiamus et immunere paravit nobis remedium sempiternum. Corpus tuum Deum Iesum Christum custodem se sanguis quam petave hereat visceribus meis apraesta, ut in me non remaniat scela macula quem purat sancta reficerunt sacramenta. Deum Obiscum, quoque pote. Oremus. Animabus quesumus Deum Iesum Christum famrum tuorum, oratio proficiat supplicantium ut eas et peccatis, omnibus exuas et tuae redemptionis facies esse partecepes. Qui tecum vivet et reinat in una divina familia, qui erat est et erit in aeternum. Deum Obiscum, quoque pote, ite missa est, Deum gratia. Plagia tibi sancta Trinitam obsequium, servitutis meae et praesta ut sacrificium corrupulis tuae majestatis in nos auctoritibus et captavere mique et omnibus, pro quibus idut auctoris et miserante pupicavere per Christum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Deum matronam nostra et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gratias. So today, like we said, is a continuation of the Paschal Triduum, and it being Holy or Grand or Great Saturday. In the primitive church, the Holy Saturday was known as Great or Grand Saturday. Holy Saturday, the Angelic Night, the Vigil of Easter or Resurrection Sunday. It is no longer, like Maundy Thursday, a day of joy, but one of joy and sadness intermingled. It is the close of the season and the close of the time of penance, and the beginning of Paschal time, which is one of rejoicing. A noteworthy exception, and I get this from the Catholic Encyclopedia, by the way. In the early church, this was the only Saturday on which fasting was permitted, and the fast was one of special severity, dating from the time of Saint Irenaeus. An absolute fast from every kind of food was observed for 40 hours preceding the feast of Resurrection Sunday. And although the moment assigned for breaking the fast at dawn on Sunday varied according to time and country, the abstinence from food on Holy Saturday was general. The vigil was especially devoted to the baptism of catechumens, who in the more important churches were very numerous. On the Holy Saturday following the deposition of St. John Chrysostom from the See of Constantinople, there were 3,000 catechumens in this church alone. Such numbers were, of course, only encountered in large cities. Nevertheless, as Holy Saturday and the Vigil of Pentecost were the only days on which baptism was administered, even in smaller churches, there was always a goodly number of catechumens. This meeting of people in the darkness of the night often occasioned abuses which the clergy felt powerless to prevent by active supervision, unless by so anticipating the ceremonies that all of them could take place in daylight. I had to contemplate that. What were they talking about by that in the darkness often occasioned abuses? My only thought was the Jews didn't like this process, so that would be the abuses that would be taking place. And again, that's my guess. Rabanus Maurus, an ecclesiastical writer of the 9th century, gives a detailed account of the ceremony of Holy Saturday. The congregation remained silent in the church, awaiting the dawn of resurrection, joining at intervals in chant and listening to the reading of the lessons. These rites were identical with those of the primitive church. Okay, and we're seeking to get back to the primitive church. And even though they say they were identical, I think that was an effort to make it seem as if they were identical, but not necessarily so. These rites were the same as the primitive church and were solemnized at the same hours, as the faithful throughout the world had not yet consented to anticipate the resurrection vigil. And it was only during the Middle Ages that uniformity on this point was established. Remember, there's been such a tremendous amount of history manipulation, especially with the times after great events like great resets. And again, I think they're totally related to how much the church has gone off the rails is what calls for a global reset, but it's not a globe. I wanted to remind everyone of the 6 commandments of the church. Those are the commandments that we obey. The duties of a Catholic, minimally to be considered a Catholic. 1, go to Mass on Sunday and holy days and refrain from servile work. 2, go to confession at least once a year. And I would, again, this is minimally considered, okay? So if you know that you've committed a mortal sin, you need to get in touch with me or a priest immediately. 3, to receive Deum Jesum Christum, God Jesus Christ, who was, is, and ever shall be, in the Eucharist at least once a year during this time, the Paschal Triduum, known as the, like I say, they still got the Easter duty. And again, I think the Easter came in the Middle Ages, the word Easter. 4, to observe the days of fasting and abstinence. Fast and do not eat any meat on the days appointed, and no eating meat on all Fridays. Keep the Eucharistic fast when partaking in Holy Communion. So do not eat any food from midnight to receiving Deum Jesum Christum the following day. 5, to help to provide for the needs of the church. We are the church. Do the best to support and help the needs of the church. 6, and my links are in my description of the video. To obey the marriage laws of the church. Make sure that your spouse is Catholic and understands this. Okay, we were just talking about divorce yesterday and how Padre Pio was very strict about, in his confessions, about telling people who had left their spouse, even if it was from abuse, that they must remain married, however. All right, it's up to the individual whether or not they want to remain in an abusive situation, but they are not to remarry. And people should not marry those who have left another spouse. The purpose of the Catholic marriage is to make babies and to raise your children to be Catholic saints. The purpose of the Catholic marriage is also to become saintly. Only your spouse knows your deepest struggles and weaknesses. The Catholic marriage points us to Deum Jesum Christum and away from ourselves. Selfishness destroys a Catholic marriage, and selflessness raises one up. I have to do an S curve to get here between the kneelers. So if you have any questions or anything, again, the Catholic Encyclopedia is a good source for information. It is on ourladiesgod.com website in the resources page on the left. It's quite a big download, and I do recommend that you investigate and read there if you have questions. And I'm also here to help you, but I would probably do the same thing. All right. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m., Resurrection Sunday. Please go and be with your families and hold your tongue when you're with them, and have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.